everyone, and welcome back to Kayla's Kitchen. Today we are doing another Battle of the Teas. So if you haven't seen any of these on my channel before, a Battle of the Teas is where I take two teas that either have similar ingredients or are supposed to taste similar or are from the same company or blah 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 blah. Two teas, they're similar in some way. There's something that connects them. And I do a taste test comparison where I look at them side by side and see which one either I like better, or I think is better, or whatever. And even, it's not really to find out which one's better necessarily, but more to find out which one I think, it's more to find out the differences between the two. Why would you buy one versus the other? So today we are doing a Battle of the Teas with two chais from Harney & Sons. Harney & Sons is a super popular tea brand. They have a bunch of different blends of tea, and they have two different kinds of chai that I thought I would love to do a Battle of the Teas between the two of these. So that's what we're here for. To do both of these, I am making them as an iced chai latte because I think that that would be delicious and keep things just a little bit short. But the two teas that I have from Harney & Sons are their chai and Indian spice teas. So we're gonna jump into the chai first. So the ingredients on this tea are black tea, cardamom flavor, vanilla flavor, cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom seeds, and ground cloves. The smell of the loose tea, it smells really sweet. You're getting a lot of that sweet cinnamon. It almost smells like, it has that vanilla flavor in there, but for whatever reason, it's translating almost like kind of pumpkin-y. Yeah. I think that's probably the vanilla combined with the nutmeg. You're definitely getting the nutmeg in there. You're getting the cinnamon. And I'm definitely getting a little bit of the cloves as well. It smells so good. Really, you're getting that like combination of the spices and a really nice sweet scent as well. Oh, it smells amazing. And then the way that I've brewed both of my teas is that I did a teaspoon of tea leaves to about 3/4 of a cup of water, and then I topped it off with about another 1/4 of a cup of milk. And then I also let the tea cool completely before letting it, before adding in any of the milk or anything like that. And I steeped each of them. I steeped them for the same amount of time. I didn't set a timer or anything, but it was about 3 to 4 minutes. These are both CTC teas, which means that the leaves have been crushed and torn really small and they're like rolled up into little balls. It's like what you find in tea bags, which means that the tea is gonna infuse its flavor super quickly. So you don't necessarily have to steep it for a really long amount of time. This is what it looks like with the milk in there. That's really good. You're definitely getting those spices in there. I feel like I would have liked to use more leaves in here to make it just a little bit stronger. But you're really getting the nutmeg. I would say that that's probably the strongest, which I think is a little bit strange for a chai. But you're definitely getting the nutmeg. You're definitely getting the cinnamon, and you're getting a little bit of sweetness from that cinnamon that kind of, I haven't added any sweetener into here, but you're getting a little bit of that sweetness and it kind of like sits on your tongue. And then you're definitely, and it's absolutely accented by the milk, but you're definitely getting that creamy vanilla in there as well. So you're definitely getting nutmeg, you're getting cinnamon. I feel like I've maybe lost a little bit of the spice. I think that if I had done like 2 teaspoons of tea, it would be stronger. But you're definitely getting the spice in there. And then it's also that creamy vanilla. And with the cinnamon and the vanilla, you're getting a little bit of sweetness. This is really nice. You could definitely add a little bit of sweetener in here, whether you wanted to do vanilla syrup, which I think would actually be really, really good because of the vanilla flavor that's already in here. Vanilla syrup, or you could do it with honey while the tea's still hot, or sugar. Brown sugar would also be delicious. This is a really solid plain chai base. For just doing plain chai, you don't necessarily need any flavoring in there, but you could absolutely add it if you wanted to. So it's a really good, for being a like masala chai, spiced chai base, it's amazing because it has all the flavors that you want. It has the spices and it has a little bit of that vanilla flavor in there, so it has a little bit something to make it a little bit special. But it's also plain enough that if you wanted to add like caramel into this, or if you wanted to add vanilla or any other, like the Harney coffee syrups are great for flavoring iced lattes. You could totally do that with this. It'd be amazing. Yeah, so that is the plain, it's just called chai. It's not called anything else. It's just chai. I'm moving on to Indian spice. So the ingredients in this tea are black tea, cardamom flavor, ground cinnamon, nutmeg, and cardamom spices. So the difference between the ingredients in these ones is that they look like they have, this one looks like it has less variety of spices, but this one does actually have, it seems like this has more actual spices in it. And also when you look at this one, the ingredients on this one has both CTC and some full leaf leaves in it. So it has a little bit of a combination there. Smell the tea? Definitely smelling the cardamom. The cardamom is coming through really strong. Cardamom, you're getting some nutmeg as well, and you're getting that sweet cinnamon as well. But really the cardamom is the strongest thing, which makes sense because it has the cardamom flavor and cardamom seed in it, so it has both. And now for all of these teas, for both of them, the spices are all ground. So you're not getting like full cardamom pods or anything like that. But it smells amazing. It smells so good. It smells sweet, it smells spicy, but you're really getting the cardamom and the nutmeg are really the strongest ones, which I think is sort of adding to that sweetness because those are both fairly sweet spices. And then I have, of course, steeped this up in the exact same way. They both went through the exact same brewing process. Yeah, the cardamom is really strong in this one. It kind of reminds me of the David's Tea cardamom French toast, but like a less sweet version. Definitely, though, the only flavor I'm really getting is cardamom though. Like the nutmeg and the cinnamon are much fainter, the cardamom sort of taking over. But it's so strong. If you love cardamom, you'll love this. If you hate cardamom, you'll probably hate this. But I love cardamom, and I love this. It's not sweet in like a traditional way. Like it's not sweet, it hasn't been sweetened. But cardamom has like a little bit of a sweet flavor to it, and I think that the cinnamon and the nutmeg are backing up that little bit of sweetness in there, where it's like, it is not sweet, but it has a sweet flavor. You're getting the cardamom, you're getting a little bit in the back end, a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of cinnamon, but you're mostly getting the cardamom. Yeah. So, overall thoughts. Definitely, if you want a more traditional chai, the chai is your go-to. Like I said, it's a nice plain chai. There's not a ton going on. It's just got the spices. It has a little bit of vanilla flavor. It's a great base. It's great to be a base or to just be your standard chai. The Indian spice, I was not expecting that to be like only cardamom, but it's kind of only cardamom, but it's a really good cardamom tea. It's the flavor in that one is actually a lot stronger. You're getting that cardamom a lot. The chai, I would say you'd kind of have to use a little bit more tea than you would expect. I used the same amount, and the Indian spice was definitely more flavorful for using the same amount of leaves than the regular chai. But like 1 teaspoon to 3/4 of a cup of water to make something that's gonna be iced, like that's not a ton. Like I could have steeped it stronger. And I bet if you steeped the Indian spice more, the other flavors would come through as well. Like if you used more leaves, I bet that the other flavors would come through more as well. Again, this isn't really, for Battle of the Teas, it's not really which one's better, it's more what are the differences between the two. And the difference between the two is that the chai is your standard normal chai. You're getting cinnamon, you're getting cloves, you're getting nutmeg, you're getting some cardamom in there as well. The Indian spice the cardamom is the life of the party. That is the star of the show. So if you want a more standard chai, go with the chai. If you really want a cardamom heavy tea, Indian spice is that's your guy. And also, both of these were amazing as iced lattes. And you could absolutely add sweetener into any one of these. I think both of them, you could add in sugar, you could add in brown sugar, you could add in honey, you could add in any kind of flavoring like caramel or vanilla syrup. You could add in anything you want. I'm trying to come up with which one do I personally like better. And it's a little bit hard for me. Usually I have a rating that I would give them or something. And I think that my rating for them would be the same because they're so different. I wasn't expecting them to be quite so different. I think that I might pick the Indian spice a little bit over the regular chai just because I really like the cardamom that's coming through in there. But it would really depend on my mood, because if I wanted a chai that's gonna be more warming and more like cinnamon heavy, I would go with the chai. But if I really want something that's gonna have that sweet cardamom, I'd go with the Indian spice. But those are my thoughts on these two chais from Harney & Sons. If you tried either one of these, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. But that is all I have for you on this episode of Kayla's Kitchen. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy sipping.